The story of this young man is one that is very heartwarming indeed. At 17 years old, he had an opportunity and then something happened. He joins us now to talk a little bit about that and his future and everything in between. Daniel Rowe is his name. Daniel, good morning, a coach and footballer for the Barbados Soccer Academy. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing quite well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you for asking, Daniel. I want to look at this thing that happened when you were 17. You remember?
What happened when I was 17? I started UE. There's a lot that happened.
Well, let me remind you then. Were you offered a scholarship when you were 17 years old to the John Brown University? Aha. I see it all comes back to you now.
Absolutely,
Let's talk,
absolutely.
let's talk about that.
Well, I had just really started playing I get in Harrison College Choir, and I was playing at the Barbados Soccer Academy at the time, and there was the opportunity for me because I went to Florida, 2009. We played at the Disney Showcase, and there was an opportunity for me to get a scholarship to John Brown University. And unfortunately, all they said is they'd like to see some video. They want to see, some footage of me playing, and that did not pan out, unfortunately. And so the opportunity kind of withered away. And I took that. It was pretty hard for me because it's something I was really passionate about. But in the long, it's actually paid off better because I think looking back, I probably wasn't in the right headspace to go and live on my own. I didn't really know what it took to be a college athlete, and it's lit a fire in me that I can't let this happen again. I can't have
I thought,
players who are good enough to make it, and for some reason or another,
I thought it was such an
they don't
interesting
have
story to tell because sometimes, even in our youth, we're encountered by so many disappointments and we want to give up. You said, no, I'm not letting this knock me down at all. And so you persevere, and to this day, you're still very much into football. You're now a coach while still also playing football for Barbados as well. So let's talk about all that led you to this point. With the Barbados Soccer Academy, what's been that experience for you?
Well, my first tour with them, like I said, was in 2009, and it was a very very good experience for me because it did help me to play football overseas. And growing up, I didn't represent them beyond that, and I did represent Barbados at the 17 level, and I have represented the senior national beach soccer team, but I haven't played any senior grass football, unfortunately. I think my time is kind of running out on that, but it what I've been doing is a lot of coaching. So I've coached for several different clubs, Kickstart, um, Dexter's Brazilian. I've coached for one or two other places. I've built up an experience that I've then gone and done like some coaching courses, and I've started Become Elite Academy, which is my personal one-on-one and small group training academy, where I do exactly what I wish I had. So I take players who are, on the cusp of making it themselves, and I work them. I instill the discipline and the idea of hard work and whatnot, and the video that they will need, obviously. And then I have some links overseas that I help putting them through clubs like the Barbados Soccer Academy to try and get them out. Because, as I said, I just don't want what happened to me to be an excuse for anyone going forward. Because the level that you need to be at to excel here is not as high as the level you need to be at to excel overseas. So it's all about changing the player's mentality into I need to be at 110% here, and I need to give 110%, and then you still need people to help you to get those opportunities.
So your academy is called the Become Elite Academy. What's the program like? Because
Yes.
there's some young footballers out there who may not be necessarily wanting to go into the soccer academy, but they might want to be with yours, the Become Elite Academy. What is the program like once they sign up to be a part of it with you?
Well, I don't function in the same space that the Barbados Soccer Academy would. So the Barbados Soccer Academy, you have opportunity to play under 15, under 17, under 19. They have a first division team, and they do have very high level, high quality coaching at the Barbados Soccer Academy. What my academy does is fill in the gaps. So, for example, if you want to become an architect and you're, say, struggling in physics, you will need to go to physics lessons while still doing your regular schooling. So you'll still do your physics and whatnot at school, but then you have extra outside of school that you then top up, and it allows, that is what will really take you to become one of the best architects you can be. So that is where I fall. My becoming the academy, what we do is we work alongside with clubs. So you train 3 days at a club, and then you train 2 or 3 days with me where we do extra, so that by the time you are at your club, you are performing above those who are only doing their 3 days. Operate the same space as clubs. The whole idea is for you to play with the club, so you still have team football and experience in playing for a club, and then what you have extra then is with me, and then I will obviously help you with the videos and whatnot in terms of getting overseas. And in that same regard, I don't. It's not just that anybody can. So I'm more selective in terms of
Right.
who I work with, because obviously I'm a fun person.
No wonder they say that you have a knack for, helping others become a true team player yourself. And they consider you to be quite a charismatic individual. I'm reading words said about you. How do you feel when you hear people say those things about you?
Well, firstly, I give all praise, all thanks to God, to be honest, because I couldn't have done a thing. The amount of opportunities that I've had and I've helped create for others, because I have had people who pass through my hands who've gone on to sign and play semi-pro in England and whatnot. But I give thanks to God, to be honest. He's given me the mentality that allows me to help others. Sometimes it's a detriment of myself, but and the more people that are here for the youth that can pour into the youth, the more the whole country on a whole get out. So when I took the Barbados Soccer Academy under 19 team to Florida, just this last in December, it was a fantastic experience for most of the boys, mostly because none of them had been able to play any club football, because there's been no club football here in Barbados for a long time. So the process of getting the boys ready to travel was, it was really tough. Because they don't have the experience of playing from just, either just small scrimmages at home or from just not having played at all. So Carl Hinkson, who was the head coach, and we worked very hard with them. And then going forward over there, I think they had a fantastic experience. We had some boys who got scholarship opportunities, and there were some of the best. There were some of the best players there. Our team was amazing. We had a lot of struggle with getting visas to go overseas because the American embassy here was closed. So we had to rely on I think 3 foreign players, one of whom got hurt the day we landed, who's our goalkeeper. So we had some brave boys who had to stand up between the sticks and just hold on, and they did the job because we played superbly. And I'm very, very proud of the boys, and I've been following up with them after since we've come back.
That's fantastic. Do you have any regrets? When you look at opportunities lost, do you have any regrets at all?
I try not to. The thing about regrets is that regrets never go away. As long as you live, regrets will never go away. So what I look at it as is a learning experience, a learning opportunity, something that did not happen, because life is not fair. So we have to make the most of what happens to us.
Right. My technical director is a footballer himself, and he too was a part of the Barbados Soccer Academy. So he would want to know, who is your favorite footballer and which is your favorite football team? Be careful with your answers.
I'm a student of the game, I'll be honest. So there's some teams that I like to watch more than the others, but that is more to learn from them. So I really enjoy watching Red Bull Leipzig play, really watching well, Aston Villa as of recent. There are a few teams that I watch, but it's more to watch to see how they operate and then to watch specific players. So I might want to look at, like, for example, Leroy Sané, who's someone who started on the wing and has now moved to a more number 10 role at Bayern Munich, and it's to see how he has transferred his skills. I'm a student of the game, to be
Right.
honest.
So what's your assessment of Real Madrid? Be careful of your
Real
answer.
Madrid is Real, no, Real Madrid is a team that is coming out of the other side of a transition. So they went through a period where, they lost their star player in Cristiano. They had a couple aging players in midfield, and they've reinforced. They've lost the captain Sergio Ramos. They've lost Varane, and they're redeveloping their squad. So I think they're now coming out the other side. There's still one or two players that they have to lose, like the likes of Modric and Benzema over the next couple of years.
Hmm.
And I think the future is bright. It seems that they've agreed to sign Kylian Mbappe as a forward. They've just strengthened midfield with Camavinga. They have two very bright stars in Rodrigo and Vinicius. They're still prone to bad decisions like the Eden Hazard transfer. I think they're coming out the other side of the transition. I think Real Madrid will be a scary team to watch in the next couple of years. I'm also a big fan of Carlo Ancelotti's 4-3-3.
Okay, well, he's happy with your response. Indeed. Daniel Rowe, he's applauding you even as I can listen right now. He's in my ears. Just filling my ears with this applause. Daniel Rowe, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We had to have you on because you are for us one of our exceptional young men in our society. Very positive, not living on regrets, but just reaching out to helping others as well attain. Because as you've said in your own words, you don't want to happen to them what happened to you, and I love that is your focus indeed. So all the best, Daniel Rowe. Thank you so much for being exceptional. All the best.
All right, thank you. But before I go, is it possible I can say a thank you?
Yes.
I just want to say, okay, I just want to say thank you to the organizations that have sponsored the BSA over the years, because getting this trip done was very hard. It took a lot of last minute stepping in as sponsorship. I want to say thank you to the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment. I want to say big thank you to the National Sports Council, a huge thank you to RBC Capital Markets, thank you to Combermere School, thank you to the YMCA, and I want to say thank you to my personal sponsors, Dylan Amberdane, Kinetics Apparel, and and Beyond Limits Gym. Big thank you to all of them. Thank you to you guys for having me.
You're welcome.
It's been a wonderful experience.
You're welcome. Same here.
Right.
Daniel Rowe is his name. Note the name for the future, folks. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados.